Thousands of protesters are gathering for a rally in Tel Aviv right now. They're angry at the ever-growing cost of living. The Israeli government passed a tough package of cuts and tax hikes this week to try and save over $3.5 billion in next year's budget. The protest movement's been on the rise in recent months, galvanised by some desperate people even setting fire to themselves, as we've been reporting. Saturday's social justice demos are expected to be joined by groups calling for a universal army draft too, recruiting ultra-Orthodox Jews to serve in the military. Prime Minister Netanyahu's popularity has massively dropped as well, with over 60% now unhappy with his work. But critics say the government keeps cashing in to support its regional political goals instead of spending at home, as Paula Sleer found out.
In the middle of the West Bank, on land Palestinians and the international community claim is not theirs, 50 Israeli families live in a small settler outpost, which government money has helped pay for.
Of course the government has invested a lot here, just as it did with other settlements. But we are not the reason for the social protests. If people find it hard and expensive to live in cities, they should not point fingers at settlers.
But fingers are pointing and calculations made.
The cost of constructing the settlements during the years was close to $19 billion, and this includes investments in infrastructures like housing, like electricity, like energy, like also roads, like water. About 50% of the budgets and the settlements are financed or subsidized by governmental activities.
The Supreme Court ruled this outpost in Migron was illegal and has given settlers here until August the 21st to move out. Either way, Israeli taxpayers foot the bill. This is where the settlers will be moved to. The Israeli government spent more than $4 million building the site. That translates into some $80,000 per family.
The state budget is a cake. If you take one piece for this, there is much less left for the other. There is one place where the government has always enough money for anything, and this is in the occupied territories for the settlements.
And this is why Israeli taxpayers are saying enough is enough. For a second straight summer, protests simmer around the country's large cities. But wary of last year's vast numbers of protesters, municipal leaders in Tel Aviv have refused permission for tents along its main boulevard. In symbolic defiance, paper tents have sprung up. But for many of these people, the tents are home, and the protest is not temporary. They're in for the long haul.
Shame on you, Mr. Netanyahu. You should help the poor and the weak. I've been homeless for 20 years and no politician has ever come here. They don't look at us as humans. They think we're animals in the zoo. Already people have set themselves on fire. If nothing changes, we'll all start doing it too.
By comparison, not one person appears homeless in outposts like this one in Migron. As the social protests continue, more and more people are demanding answers to why their government is pouring money into new settlements at the expense of the poor in existing communities. Paula Sleer, RT, Migron outpost in the West Bank.